Hey everybody, Bruce here with Stock Markets with Bruce. Welcome to my video today. I'm going to talk to you today about what happened today, Friday the 19th of June 2020 in the market. And something happened today that might set the tone for the next 6 months for the Dow and the NASDAQ markets. If you're day trading or you're looking for stock deals, you're following the market closely, something happened this afternoon that might just set the tone going forward. But the big news that hit the wires today, the cruise lines, they have announced through the Cruise Line International Association there will be no cruises in and out of any U.S. ports until at least September the 15th of this year. That is an extension. The last date we had where there wouldn't be sailings was July 24th with the CDC. Now the CLIA, on behalf of the cruise lines, are saying we're not sailing until at least September 15th. By the way, thank you for subscribing to my channel, Stock Markets with Bruce, and thank you for giving my videos thumbs ups. I really appreciate it. All right, let's get into this. The cruise lines are completely shut down all over the world. There isn't a single cruise ship anywhere on the planet with paying passengers on board right now, and certainly with over 13 or 14 million passengers expected to get on cruise ships in the U.S. this year, the industry has been taking a major hit since March. Carnival this week announced their earnings for the second quarter ending May 31st. They lost $4.4 billion. They're going to lose at least that much in the next quarter. So will Royal Caribbean and so will Norwegian. It's not looking good. Check the chart right here on a couple of stocks. You'll notice here that the chart for Carnival and the chart for Royal Caribbean are up on the screen right now, and you can see that at the halfway point of the day, the stocks in both cases dropped in price. In the case of Royal Caribbean, they were over 61 earlier today, in that $60 neighborhood. Then they dropped into that 58 range, and then they dropped again, and it's the second drop that I want to bring your attention to. That drop took the stock down into the 55 range where it closed tonight. And if you take a look at the Carnival stock, you'll see the same thing. It dropped during the day. It was at 19 this morning, then in the 1870 range, then around the 1850 range, and then it took another steep drop in the last couple of hours down into the high 17s, and that's where she is now, 1780 or so a share. For the Norwegian stock, similar pattern. You'll note that it was flatlining around 1938 or so, then took a drop to the 1880 range, and then late in the day dropped into the low 18s, around to the 1820 range, and that's where she closed out the day. This is a reaction to this postponement of all cruises for all cruise ports in the U.S. And I think this is a pattern that's going to continue. The realization here amongst folks who were hoping against hope that the cruise lines would be coming back sooner rather than later, it's becoming more and more obvious that this shutdown, which began in March, is now extended right now to the fall, and even that date, the September 15th date, is shaky at best. We still don't know if the CDC will make cruise lines sail at, say, half capacity starting out, and if that's the case, they can't possibly make back the losses in a hurry. They're going to go for a long time, bleeding money and really just desperately trying to find a way to break even. But the big story today, on top of this story, is the Apple story. Apple today made an announcement that at first didn't seem to be all that significant, but as the market rolled on, it became obvious that this could be a game changer. The perception in the market has been that if the market dropped off like it had back in March, that there would be a V-shaped recovery as soon as the economies of the U.S. were allowed back to be opened again. And Apple, playing along with everyone else, reopened a bunch of its stores in the last several months, and all seemed well. But today, Apple admitted that they are going to basically reclose a number of shops that are in states where the virus is building momentum. For example, Florida is one state. All the shops in Florida are going to be reclosed because Apple is worried about the safety of their employees. And you can see here how the the Apple stock reacted and the Dow. Notice the Apple stock was in that 355 range. It actually hit a new high today of 356.56 and then was slumping in the afternoon to about 354. They came out with the announcement and the market began to fall. The Apple shares into that 350.51 range, tried a bit of recovery, and then gave up the ghost and dropped into that 347, 345 neighborhood. The Dow itself did the same thing. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped off at around noonish with this news, and it had a bit of a rally and then dropped again. And now the realization on the street is, oh my gosh, if Texas, Florida, California, and other states are going to have a resurgence of this virus, and these states are beginning to hit record highs, even Arizona's in the mix here, we could have a market that could take a double whammy, because it is now obvious, what's beginning to look obvious. People will not be back at work as quickly as had hoped, and there could be a national or a larger lockdown over states that haven't had a lockdown before. And if there are any hints that New York is coming back with the virus, Cuomo will do a lockdown all over again, which could put the economy into a tailspin for quite a while longer. The thought of the economy coming back by the end of this year is over. It's not going to happen, and I think the stock market is figuring it out. So watch your trading out there, folks. You might be now in a market where it's going to be lower highs and lower lows going forward, and we'll just see how unstable it gets. I just don't like the fundamentals and the way it's looking. Anyway, there it is. That's my video for the day. The cruise lines are definitely in trouble, and they're backing off, and now the market itself, with the economy teetering with 15, 20 million people unemployed, and who knows how many more, we could be in for a long, long haul of pain. We'll stay on top of it. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you later, everybody. Bye for now.